looked far and wide across the country for a perfect venue for our glassblowing studio. When we came across Cockington and the stable yard, we knew that was the place for us and pretty much fell in love at first sight.
And in 1997, Trish, Mark, brother and sister, and myself saw the potential of the old stable yard buildings. A dreadful state, really. They were vandalised, derelict, damp, but we set about building our dream, really, which was the glassblowing studio, bringing equipment into the stable yard, the likes of which Cockington probably never seen.
Once we'd committed to the installing all our equipment, however, we did have a huge setback, and it was discovered that the gas pressure wasn't suitable, and we had to bring in a medium gas pressure pipeline, which more than stretched the budget and gave us many, many sleepless nights, running on adrenaline for most of the time, really. But it was very rewarding watching it all slowly but surely coming together. A lot of help from family and friends, sort of pulling in a lot of favours to bring it all together and make it happen.
We did have time for a little celebration, which was the sort of culmination of all of our hard work and the start of our dream for the future.
The start of every piece, it very much feels like a blank sheet of paper before you. But the very nature of glassmaking means the rapid development of the piece forces the maker into complete involvement.
When you're assisting, it's very much like being a partner in a dance. Especially after this many years of working together, you seem to instinctively know when it's your turn to step up and work, really.
The glassmaker tends to work very quickly and has to respond to the fluid nature of the glass, and many, many fine alterations and calculations have to be made to adjust to work to the flow and the feel of the glass.
Glass it's a very organic material, and I think that you have to be very mindful of that and very respectful of it, and work towards having an empathetic relationship with it rather than a forceful one.
It's very humbling to be part of a 2,000-year lineage of glassmaking. It feels very strange to think that we're working in the same way as a Roman glassmaker would have been a few thousand years ago.
The tools and techniques have hardly changed at all, and it's remarkable to think that really such simple tools can produce such extraordinary objects of beauty.
I suppose the main differences are in furnace technology and refractories and glass compositions to obtain the exact results that we require today in a much more controlled manner. The technique where the piece is transferred from one iron to the other
It's not only one that the Romans would have used and that we continue to use, it's one that separates us as hand makers from industry and from mass production.
In the closing moments of the hot work, the glass becomes very temperature sensitive and it comes down to a final judgment call. Our experience tells us when the glass is ready to go into the layer for its overnight cooling.
People often ask us where we get our glass or raw materials from, and it's actually 100% inherently recycled. We take factory breakages, rejects, offcuts and overblows from the lead crystal glass industry. And basically anything they don't want, we buy from them, sieve it, wash it, and then thoroughly dry it by placing the treated glass right next to the furnace, and then ready really for the charging process or the filling process. Normally when the craft centre is deserted and under the cover of darkness, we'll do the filling, which is the last job in the OurGlass studio. And we literally shovel the broken glass into the furnace, where the broken glass melts and fuses very, very slowly overnight to give us a working glass for the next morning.
We're constantly using the reheater or the glory hole to regulate the temperature of the glass. However, at its hottest, and without our intervention, the true and unforgiving nature of the glass is revealed. For us, the glass exists in two different states. When these extremes meet, chaos ensues.
In contrast to the hot work, where the glass is obviously very organic fluid, exposed to high temperatures from the furnace and the glory hole and so on, we have the cold work, normally performed early in the morning, and it's rare that a piece won't be cold worked in some way or other. We use a series of techniques in a very cold room, and it's the type of work that's not seen really by the average visitor to OurGlass. It's strangely hypnotic, the processes we use: sawing, grinding, polishing, beveling, sandblasting sometimes, and certainly each piece will be engraved.
Every day is a busy day for us. Every day is very different, but they always are very busy. We always have something to do. We have visitors, there are children calling out, people asking questions, orders to make. We're always busy. When we are glass making, we find that we can have, or I find that I can have those absolutely perfect moments of stillness, really. The rest, everything stops, the noise stops, the activity stops, and there's just a perfect moment of creation. And it's very hard to describe, and it's almost beyond description, really, because it's about the instant, about the moment, and it's why I glass make.
We've always enjoyed working with colour, and we've now evolved to a point of refined and deliberate blending of colour and texture. We find ourselves constantly experimenting and pushing the boundaries. We certainly try to respond to fashions and sometimes predict them, but not always that successfully. The inspiration for new colour blends normally comes or is instigated by a particular individual within the team, but it soon gets sort of developed quite rapidly from the other members of the team, and a combination of our involvement tends to produce the final result.
An important element of our business is the fact that we've set up not only as a workshop but also as a retail shop or gallery where people can come in and buy direct from us. And this is it's priceless really. It's a perfect opportunity for us to do instant market research. And by that we mean that if we create a new collection or colour, we can put that work on the shelves, and within a few days literally thousands of people will have seen that work, and we'll know pretty quickly whether we've hit the mark.
The really great thing about our business is the fact that we take raw materials in and we design, we colour, we make, and we have complete control over the entire process. And it's very gratifying then to see the final product sold and then leaving the studio.
A very rewarding part of what we do is being able to share our craft with people, and it genuinely is lovely especially when children come in, and the little ones are they're just mesmerised by what they're seeing. They're absorbed. We welcome them asking questions and being involved, and it's lovely to be able to share that with them. And what's remarkable really is that children that came years and years ago have now grown up, and they're bringing their own children back, and obviously it makes us feel horribly ancient, but there's a lovely continuity there, and it's making us feel very much part of a community, and that's very, very privileged really, and it does seem that over the years we've become OurGlass of Cockington.